I'm Jessica Bull and I'm a game artist. I also am a game art teacher here at Academy of Interactive Entertainment. My favourite thing about my job is seeing the students bring to life their ideas. Whatever they want to make, they just make it and it's right there on the screen. It's really great. My specialty area, I'm an environmental artist, which basically means I create the environment that you see the characters run around. So that might be the mountain ranges or a tree or a flower that you see in games. So I create all that, and that's my favourite thing to do. The students like the most, they're all very different. They come in thinking they like this, but then they really find out they like making characters or making environments and things like that. So everyone's really different. To become a game developer, you could be any age. Like, the industry is growing and you can pretty much be a kid, like you guys, or an 80-year-old. It's for everyone. Getting into making games, you do use a lot of computers, so it does take a bit of time to get used to it, but you do. And the other thing is you have to be a great communicator because you work a lot with different people, so that's really important. First of all, you have to come up with an idea. You get your team together, so that's like game designer, game programmer, and a game artist. All come together and you pretty much start making a game. When you make a mistake when you're designing a game, all you have to do is stop, see what the mistake is, go back, fix it up, and just keep going. Don't stress out, just relax. You maybe might have to talk to your team and just push through it. Female characters, I like making them really strong and just like overpowering and, you know, girls' power. So the hardest thing about designing a character, I find the hands, the ears, and especially the hair, just to make it look real or, you know, the style that you're trying to create. It's really interesting the level of girls and boys that play games these days. It's actually 48 to 52%. So it's almost level, guys. For making games, you do sit a lot of times at your desk, but I've actually got a standing desk these days, so I can stand up all day. I even put music on, and I find myself just dancing away, doing art. It's fun. The thing that took the longest was a game I was working on a few years ago, and it was just one shot looking down on a football field. And I spent 6 months making the ground, and I made it so many different types, and it just didn't look right, which pretty much came down to not having the right reference. The most important thing when making any sort of art asset is getting reference. So that could be from the art galleries you go to, movies you see, games you play, life itself. So you have to make sure you get out there and experience life to get these references to help you make these art assets. I wish everyone said that it's okay to be a girl and making games. Going to an all-girls school, they weren't happy with the idea, but I pushed through and here I am. The best part about my job is just being creative, just letting it flow and just like seeing what everyone else does as well and playing each other's games, and everyone's just so excited and the community is so happy and exciting.
So ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to do a mermaid look. I've never done this before. I'm a little bit nervous, so let's do it together. Wish me luck. So the products you'll need are some body shimmer of some sort to add the sparkle and glow of the water, lots of colourful eyeshadows. We want to go for some deep greens, some purples, pinks, play up with it. We'll also need some fishnet stockings. And then we're going to finish off the look with a pale pink lipstick. So first step for the mermaid look, we're going to grab our face brush and dip in with our white shimmer shadow and place it on top of the cheekbones, bridge of the nose and the eyebrows to have that glowy, shimmery look, like she's just come out of the water. With a clean face brush, I'm adding 3 shades of green and lightly tap off the excess. to the forehead, all the way down to the cheekbone. So this step can get a little tricky. You're gonna grab your fishnet, pull it as tight as you can to have the holes as big, place it on top of the green, and get your model to hold it. Then on top of that, we grab our eyeshadow brush, dip it in a deep, vibrant purple, tap off the excess, and gentle strokes on top of the fishnet. Just checking if I like that. Take one hand off. Yep, and I'm happy with that. And repeat that on the other side. Make sure you have the fishnet as tight as you had it on the other side. With my flat makeup brush, I'm going to use the dark red lipstick and I'm going to draw some gills on the side of the neck. I think 3 will be a good number. So we want the gills about 3 centimetres long, going straight down from the earlobe and maybe about 1 centimetre apart from each other. For the other side of the gills, just have your model face you straight on and look and just place where you want to start it. Yeah, that'll be good. When you're happy with that look, get your white shimmer again and just go over those gills lightly dusting, just so it dulls it down a bit and has that glowy look. I like the position of the gills. I might just add a deep blue to make it pop. I'm going to continue the pattern down the neck, firstly with the green colour. Then the purple pattern colour. And then cover it with all white shimmer powder. And now for the finished look, just a soft coral colour on the lips. Yay, my mermaid's complete. I'm really happy with that. How does it look?
My name is Anna Walker. I'm an illustrator and a storyteller. The Get Arty team have given me the challenge of a few words and a couple of pictures, and I'm going to hopefully bring those together in a story. Okay, let's get started. The 3 words AFL, Melbourne and tram. The images are the Get Arty logo and the presenter, the lovely Colleen. I was slightly horrified at the word tram because I feel like I'm not very good at drawing vehicles or buildings. So I was concentrating on something that I connect with, and that's Melbourne. I imagine myself as if I was Colleen, perhaps on my way to the football, waiting at the tram stop. And when I'm at the tram stop, I like to look around at whether it be the creatures and the birds, thinking about what the pigeons are doing in their day and if one of them was on the way to the footy and what would happen if one of those pigeons took Colleen's footy ticket. So I started thinking about what that might look like. Colleen at the tram stop with the pigeon taking off with her ticket. She's like, oh no, that's my ticket. And the pigeon is thinking, but I want to go to the footy too. I was thinking Colleen might enjoy knitting. It's pretty cold in Melbourne often at the footy. The pigeon, who was missing a few feathers, could do with something to keep him warm. She ends up perhaps taking pity on the pigeon and knitting him a woolen beanie. And there was something amusing about the pigeon wearing a beanie that was slightly too big for him, going for the cats. Yeah. But he's so pleased with his beanie and to be at the footy with a pie and some chips, he doesn't mind. and maybe on a sign. Get Arty. So from a few words and a few pictures, we now have the beginning of a story with Carleen and the pigeon on her way to the football. Hopefully you at home can take a few words and images and start your own story.
Hi, my name's Dilara. I was the Young Arty winner for 2016 in the 16 to 18-year-old category. Besides painting traditional portraits, I love to paint pop art portraits. Pop art started in the 1950s and it usually follows popular culture. Today we're going to be painting a pop art portrait, and as we go through it, I'll show you some traditional techniques. Usually I tackle pop art by breaking it into 3 steps: the sketching, the painting, and the black outline. So for step 1, which is the sketching, you'll need a piece of paper, mixed media paper or normal paper, a pencil, and an eraser. First, we're going to start by sketching the face. So I want to make her face this way, so I'm going to draw only half of her face. And from the top, all the way down. Now we can curve it up for her chin. Great, now that we have the face, we can kind of position the features of her face properly. Otherwise it'll be weird, like one eye up here, one eye down here. So let's draw a straight line for where the eyes are going to meet, and a line down for the nose. So now there's a nice even plane for us to draw the rest of the features. For the eyes, one semicircle like that. So let's do both sides so they're nice and even. And decide where you want her to face. I'm going to ask her to face this way. So let's draw a circle for the pupil and a circle for the other pupil. Now she needs a bottom waterline. So just a small semicircle upwards. Now you don't need to connect it there and there. Having the space there makes it look a little better and a little more natural. So let's finish off the eyes by drawing some eyelashes. Just little semicircles. Let's say 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great, now she needs some eyebrows. Let's go up just above the eye and draw a arched rectangle. And same for the other side. See how her face is tilted? You won't see the whole eyebrow there. Now let's do the nose. From the midpoint up here, just between the top of the eyebrows, draw a curved line down and flick it up at the end. Then, from that base, draw another one just like that, another semicircle. Now she needs some nostrils. So behind her, do one small semicircle, and here we just need a teardrop, like that. And finish it off with a small curved vertical line. Next, we should start with the mouth, because she needs a mouth. Let's do the middle line first, and a long stretched out M for the top lip. So for the bottom lip, you just want to connect it where we started the top lip, bring it down, make it kind of like a really wide U shape, and connect it at the other end. Great, now the facial features are done. Now I'm going to give my character a headband because it's very 1950s. So to draw the headband, we first need to outline the head. Do that by drawing one line up, one line down, and there's the bottom of your headband done. Next, we'll draw a line up and follow the shape we drew before. So for the end of the headband, we're just going to imagine a knot and the end of 2 ribbons and draw that there. It doesn't have to be too accurate, it's art. Now for the hair, we want to follow the shape of the head naturally and give her a ponytail, a nice big high dramatic ponytail. Do big curves to have wavy hair, but you don't have to do that. You can do straight hair or even curly hair, it's up to you. Keep pulling it down, ending in a nice point like that. And there's the ponytail, done. There seems to be a bit of empty space here, so I might just bring her hair in closer to frame her face. And we can do that by drawing 2 wave shapes. And that's the hair and the headband complete. So at the moment, this is just a bit of a floating head, so we need to add a neck and a body. For the neck, draw a short line down. We don't need to draw the whole neck because it's going to be covered with the clothes. So for the clothes, draw a line from where the hair meets the headband all the way down, past the chin. And then make that a triangle with a curve. For the collar, an arch and a semicircle for the arm, and a small line at the back just to finish it off nicely. And we finished the sketching. This is good as it is, but if you want to take it a step further and paint your pop art portrait, stay tuned to Get Arty. Earlier on Get Arty, we did this pop art portrait. Now it's time to get a little more arty and add some colors. Don't worry if you didn't catch the earlier project. This pop art coloring technique can be applied to any drawing. Here's what you'll need. A pop art drawing. This is the one we did earlier, but you can use your own. You'll need a flat brush, a small pointed brush for the outlines, brown, light brown, red, blue, and white gouache paint. Gouache is a mixture of acrylic and watercolors. It has both of the great characteristics of each paint. Of course, you'll need water to wash your paintbrush, and a palette knife for mixing, and a palette to mix on. So let's begin with the skin color. We need to mix it ourselves. To do this, we need white, bit of light brown, and a teeny tiny bit of red. Red is always a strong color, so you want to add little by little. You can always add more colors later, but you can't take any away, so keep that in mind. Make sure to mix it well because you don't want any streaks of red in your skin. And now add a bit of dark brown just to darken it a bit. For a lighter skin tone, you just add a bit more white. As pop art is a very stylized look, you don't need to get your exact natural skin tone. You can mix and match. You can even have green skin if you want. A good way to check if you're happy with the color is to get a blank piece of paper and do a few lines of the color you just made. This is called making a swatch. I think this is a bit too brown, so I might add a bit more light brown and a bit more red. And I'll just test it again. Yeah, I like that color way better. Okay, so let's paint. I'm gonna add some water to the paint just to make it a bit thinner and a bit easier to spread around. You do this by feel. And straight onto the paper. So you can see I'm leaving a little bit of a gap near the lead. That's because we're going to go over it later with our black outline. Remember to leave the lips and the eyes blank. You don't want to color them in because they have their own colors later. So this is a really neat style of art, and you don't want to go outside of the lines you drew because that might ruin the image later. So keep steady, keep calm, and be confident in your work. And don't forget the neck. All right, now that the face is done, we're going to move on to the hair, and we're going to use dark brown for that. Unlike other styles of art, pop art uses big blocks of color, so you don't want shading in it. Remember to stain the lines. It's very important. And keep thinning your paint down. If it's too thick, your final image will be a bit lumpy, and you don't want that. So now that the hair's done, we're going to move on to the headband and do that in dark blue. Now for the clothes. Even though I want the clothes to be white, I still want to paint a layer of white on top. And I'm going to do my eyes brown and my lips red. Since gouache is a quick drying paint, we can go straight in and do our classic bold black pop art outline. But before we go straight onto the paper, get out your spare piece of paper and practice doing some lines so you get confident. You want the lines to be thin on the end and thick in the middle. You can achieve this by using light pressure when you put your paintbrush down and then applying more and lifting it up again. So keep doing this until you get confident in drawing with your paintbrush. Make sure your paintbrush has plenty of paint so that you can get a nice uniform outline, because otherwise you're going to run out and it's going to look streaky like that. Once you're happy with your brushwork, you can move on to your painting. When I do portraits, I personally like to start on the eyes. Go over any lead pencil markings and white spaces that we left earlier. Go really slow and steady. This will help you get a nice, neat, finished painting. And there we have our completed pop art portrait. You should try experimenting with other words, objects, or even phrases to create your own pop artwork.